guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we wanted to share with you our top 10 reasons why we love the RV lifestyle.
If you're new to the channel, we're Luke and Alysha, and we spent this summer traveling across Canada to Newfoundland and back in our 23-foot Class C RV.
Our cross-Canada trip took us about 4 months, so we were living in the RV, primarily boondocking the entire time. So we have a pretty good idea of the things that we absolutely love about the lifestyle, so let's get into it.
One of the biggest advantages of living in an RV is the fact that you can live anywhere without the need for a hotel. We've camped beside mountains, rivers, middle of the prairie. We've been able to stay in all of these locations without even hotels. We've stayed in towns so small they don't even have hotels. So that's a big perk of RV living if you ask me.
It's nice too, you can pretty much choose where you want to live that day. Whether you feel like you just want to go out into the woods, or if the mountains are calling and you just want some time in nature, you can do that. Or if you want to be in a town and feel the hustle and bustle of a big city, you can also do that too. For example, one day we actually drove into Quebec City and took a bus to downtown to explore all of the old city there, which was absolutely amazing. It's something that you may think that you wouldn't be able to do in an RV, but you can actually live anywhere you want. We were also able to stay at some really cool landmarks. We were actually able to spend the night at the most easterly point in North America, which was super cool. RV living at its finest. No matter what, the RV lifestyle will always bring adventure. While traveling in our RV, we've seen so much wildlife. For example, at Riding Mountain National Park in Manitoba, we saw some wild buffalo, which I've never seen in my life in the wild before, as well as a wild black bear. So they were both so cute, and we were so happy to be able to see them and up close and in the wild. Also in Nova Scotia, on the Cabot Trail, we did the Skyline hike, which was an amazing adventurous hike as well, but we were able to see some moose up close and personal, which was another really cool thing to see on our RV travels.
Some of the most memorable adventure moments I can recall is the river plunge I did in glacial rivers, taking the Banff Gondola in Banff National Park up to the top of Sulphur Mountain, which provided a 360-degree view of the Canadian Rocky Mountains, driving the narrow roads of PEI and having to reverse all the way back once to let a car pass, and in Riding Mountain National Park there was actually a tree that had fallen in the middle of the road. Luckily we carry a hacksaw and a woodcutting axe, and we were able to cut the tree up and clear it out of the way and keep on our RVing journey.
So before we had even gotten our RV and we were just pondering with the idea of living in our RV and traveling across the country, one of the biggest things that we were worried about was being able to find a place to spend the night every night. The reality is, with all of the apps and tools on the internet that there are now, it's very easy to be able to find somewhere to stay, and we actually had no problem finding a spot to stay every night without even planning in advance. We were able to find some amazing boondocking spots and stay at them for free, which is pretty dang amazing.
Yeah, it's so accessible now with the internet. We have apps that we use to find spots. We have apps to find the nearest gas station and the best gas prices. We are going to touch on this more in detail eventually. We want to do a video on all the apps and different websites we use. We want to do a video where we actually show you how to use them all and exactly what we kind of go through to find a spot in the day in the life of RVing. So stay tuned for that as well, guys. Also, with the help of things like YouTube, whenever anything broke down on us or we ever needed to find out anything, whether it was looking into leveling, how to fix the fridge we dealt with recently, the slide not working, any kind of issues that come up, you can just use the internet or maybe YouTube and you can find someone doing exactly what you're going through and fixing it. So everything's just so accessible now with the internet, and we love that.
The RV lifestyle also allows you to travel with your pets. This is a huge plus for us because we were able to bring our kitty along with us on our cross-Canada journey and everywhere else we go in our RV. She was once just a city cat living in a condo, but we were able to transition her to full-time RV living and pretty easily. We were actually able to train her to be on a leash, and we're able to take her outdoors now, and she's able to explore as much as she wants and eat as much grass as she wants as well.
Lots of grass. Another funny perk that I've liked is our cat likes to sometimes sit on the dash. Otherwise she'll sit by the screen door. And we've had quite a few times where people walk past and actually see her, and I guess not too many people must RV with cats yet, even though it's so easy. But we'd always hear people talking about, oh, look at that cat in the window, and laughing, so that was always a fun little bonus I found too of RVing with a cat, let alone having a pet in general in the RV. Another thing about the RV lifestyle we really enjoyed was getting to see and know our own country a little better. We got to drive and camp through Banff National Park and the Canadian Rocky Mountains, which was super cool. Going through the prairies, we saw a sand dune in a little desert area in the middle of Saskatchewan we didn't expect to see at all in Canada. Heading east, when we got into Ontario, we got to see Niagara Falls, and we even camped a 5-minute walk away from Niagara Falls in a parking lot, so check that video out if you're interested, but camping right near Niagara Falls. We also drove the world-famous Cabot Trail, which was super cool in Nova Scotia, and caught a ferry to Newfoundland, Canada's, I would argue, most rugged province. So seeing all that really gave us a new appreciation of all the different landscapes Canada has, and now when we talk to other RVers and people we come across, it's kind of interesting to understand where they're from in Canada and what it would actually look like.
Without our RV, I'm not sure that we ever would have made it to the east coast of Canada, and if we did, we definitely wouldn't have seen everything in between. Not only did we love exploring the different landscapes and areas of Canada, but we loved learning more about Canada and its history. On the west coast of Canada here, national historic sites are few and far between, but on the east coast there are so many, and they're so well run by Parks Canada, with people there telling you about the history, as well as different plaques that you can learn more about the history of those individual places. On our travels in our RV, we were able to stop by and see some really cool national historic sites. For example, there was the Halifax Citadel in Halifax, which is a huge military fortress in the middle of downtown Halifax.
We also got to visit Louisbourg Fortress, which is one of Parks Canada's biggest reconstructions. It's a whole village where they have staff employed to reenact everything from the 1700s. So it's super cool to go there. We got to learn about when the French came over and the fishing, their war with the British. We even camped at the second oldest lighthouse in all of North America right beside it. So that was a really cool historical site.
And Signal Hill in St. John's, Newfoundland, on the east side there, where it's a huge tower on a hill where the first transatlantic telegraph was sent. We love that with our RV, we're able to actually live off the grid. So we can go about 3 or 4 days without any hookups, no water fill-ups, nothing.
So our RV has 300 amp hours of batteries in it, which gives us about 150 working amp hours you can actually access. When we're driving, the alternator charges the house batteries, so across Canada and back, we had no real battery issues. And if we ever did need extra battery, if we chose to camp somewhere for a few extra days, our RV also has an Onan 3500 generator equipped in it. Our 23-foot Class C RV has 32 gallons of fresh water, we have a full working washroom, we have a sink and a full-size fridge we can use, and we also have a 55-liter propane tank that we can use as well, and that lasts us roughly a month and a half right now, so we're pretty set up to live off the grid wherever we like in this RV.
We also love how affordable it is to travel and live in the RV. The costs of living in the RV are actually quite comparable, if not less than what we were paying when we lived in a condo in a regular sticks and bricks home. So it's a pretty good deal to be able to travel around your country for the same price as it would cost as living at home.
A lot of the costs of RV living are actually pretty variable. Driving across Canada and back, we burnt a lot more gas than we're spending now in BC, of course, but we worked it out to about 23 liters per 100 kilometers in this 23-foot Class C RV. With Canadian gas prices, that came out to about 37 cents per kilometer. But again, if you stay in one area or you just camp around the local areas, you don't burn nearly as much in gas. On the insurance front, I expected insuring the RV to be a lot more expensive, but having RV insurance and the contents inside of it actually worked out to just about the same as our car was anyways. So we figured that would be actually a lot more having household goods involved as well, but wasn't the case actually. As for water and a sandy dump station, we've been able to use apps and find free stations all the way across the country, and I believe we only paid once on our whole trip across Canada. Filling up our propane tanks only costs about $55, and that lasts us for roughly a month and a half. That's giving us hot water, cooking, and helping power our fridge. So you think $55 a month compared to what a hydro bill would cost? That works out pretty well. And if you're not driving as much, to get the alternator charging your house batteries, using the generator probably costs roughly $5 an hour, I think we figured, just based on the gas consumption. The generator actually uses the same gasoline as the truck cab does. So that's super convenient. As long as we go camping with a full tank of gas in the truck, we can always run our generator, so we always have battery. So pretty good setup.
So that's kind of a rundown of some of the basic costs of RV living, but if you guys would like to see a more detailed video of what it costs us to live in the RV full time, let us know in the comments and we'll do a separate video all about the cost of RV living. The RV lifestyle is so flexible as well. You can really mold it into whatever you want it to be. Whether you prefer the stability of an RV park and full hookups, or you're a bit crazier and like to go off-roading and find some crazy boondocking spots, or even if you had a long day of driving and you just need to pull into a Walmart for the night, you can really make it out to be whatever you'd like to be, and that's what we love so much about it.
Another big plus to traveling in an RV and the RV lifestyle is the fact that you have your kitchen right in the back of your motorhome or RV trailer. That saves us a lot of money traveling, of course, compared to having to pull over and go to restaurants or eat out at fast food all the time. All we have to do is look for a rest area, pull over, and we can make a good wholesome kind of homemade meal, which we really enjoy because we probably only ate out a half a dozen times on the whole trip across Canada. So between that and the free camping, we use the flexibility to save a bit of money, but you could also use the flexibility to eat out more still, see different restaurants, and stay at hookups too. It's all kind of what you want to make out of the RV lifestyle. You can also have the flexibility to pursue whatever hobby you'd like. We've seen some people do paintings outside of beautiful mountains and nice camping sites, or if you're more like us, I tried fishing a little bit as we traveled east. Not to a whole lot of luck, unfortunately, but you have the option to kind of pursue your hobby as you go, fishing different rivers, oceans, lakes. There's a whole lot of variety to what you want to do within the RV lifestyle as well. Another cool thing about RVing is the RVing community. Whether you're staying in a national park, or you're staying in the middle of forests at a site you found on iOverlander perhaps, there's always someone cool you can bump into. Just having a common interest like RVing gives you so much to talk about right off the bat. You talk about where you've been, places they're heading they may want to check out, sometimes you get interesting ideas. We went to Louisburg Fortress simply because someone said, even if you haven't heard of it, just go there, and we took their advice and it turned to be one of the coolest spots on the trip, I would say almost. So, just talking to people in the community and getting to know your neighbors, there's a whole lot of cool people out there, so to you that we've met out there, thank you. There really is nothing quite like RV living. If you traveled by car and stay in hotels, you get to see the countryside. If you take an airplane on a vacation, sure you stay at hotels and you get to check it out on the day trip, but RV living really lets you kind of explore it like nothing else does. Some of the small communities, like I think of Trout River in Newfoundland, they have no hotels, it's just a little local community, and we were able to camp right inside of their community. We've camped on glacier rivers, on mountains. There's really no way that you could get out there with a hotel or ever access that without RV living. And we've had quite the adventure this summer across the country with it.
Another thing that's great is you can kind of stay in these smaller communities, or really any community, but you kind of feel like you're in the community. It's not always like you're a tourist and doing touristy things, but you can also kind of just see how they live their day-to-day lives and kind of get to know the area a lot better than you would be able to do any other way. Alright guys, so those are the top 10 reasons why we love the RV lifestyle so much. And also, let us know in the comments down below what your favorite part of the RV lifestyle is. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and if they match up with our ideas as well.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe down below as well. We put out consistent content. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And then otherwise, stay tuned for next video. We're going to do a day in the life RV living. We're going to hit the road, go to the Sandy dump station, get some propane, and then find a campsite to top it all off. So that will be the next video coming at you guys there, friends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time then, guys.
Bye!
Bye!